Imagine you're 15 years old. You get home after school. You toss your backpack onto the floor, grab a snack, and sit down in front of your computer. You open your favorite browser. Maybe it's YouTube. Close your eyes for a moment and picture a hacker. What comes to mind? A person in a black hoodie? Green code racing across multiple monitors? Someone typing faster than any human possibly could? Hollywood has convinced us that's what hacking looks like. Reality is much quieter. Most hackers spend more time reading than typing, more time researching than attacking, more time learning than doing anything else. In fact, the first skill many ethical hackers develop isn't programming, it's curiosity. They click on things other people ignore. They wonder why a website behaves a certain way. They notice details everyone else overlooks. When you open a website, most people see a page. A cybersecurity researcher sees hundreds of invisible conversations happening behind the scenes. Every image, every button, every login page, every search bar is communicating with a server somewhere in the world. And every one of those conversations has to be designed carefully, because if just one part is forgotten or built incorrectly, it could create an opportunity for someone with bad intentions. That's why cybersecurity exists, not because technology is bad, because humans are imperfect, and humans built technology. Imagine the internet as the biggest city ever built. Every website is a building. Every account is an apartment. Every password is a key. Every server is a neighborhood. Every network cable is a road connecting everything together. Millions of people travel through this city every second, sending emails, watching videos, buying products, talking with friends, playing games, moving money. The city never sleeps, but every city has problems. Sometimes someone forgets to lock a door. Sometimes a security camera stops working. Sometimes a window is accidentally left open. The internet has the same problem. Most cyber attacks don't happen because hackers are magical. They happen because someone made a mistake. A password that was too easy, software that wasn't updated, a server that wasn't configured correctly, one forgotten setting, one overlooked line of code, one tiny decision. Sometimes that's all it takes. And that's why companies spend billions every year trying to secure their systems, not because they're expecting perfection, because they know perfection doesn't exist. The difference between most people and cybersecurity researchers isn't intelligence, it's the questions they ask. Most users ask, "Does this website work?" A researcher asks, "Why does it work?" A normal person enters a password and moves on. A researcher wonders, "Where is that password stored? How is it protected? What happens after I press enter? How does the server know it's really me?" The more questions you ask, the deeper you go. Eventually, you discover that almost everything on the internet follows patterns. Websites receive requests, servers respond, browsers display information, cookies remember sessions, databases store data. Once you begin understanding those patterns, technology stops feeling like magic. It starts feeling like a puzzle, and puzzles are meant to be solved. Curiosity has an interesting effect on people. It rarely stays small. One answer creates two new questions. You learn what an IP address is. Now you wonder how devices find each other. That leads you to DNS, then servers, then networking, then encryption, then operating systems, then programming. Before you realize it, it's 2 in the morning. You only meant to watch one video. Instead, you've spent 6 hours learning something you didn't even know existed yesterday. This is how countless cybersecurity careers begin. Not with a classroom, not with expensive equipment, not with a degree, with curiosity. The deeper you go, the more fascinating everything becomes. You stop looking at apps, you start seeing systems. You stop seeing games, you start seeing servers. You stop seeing websites, you start seeing millions of tiny conversations happening every second. It's like putting on a new pair of glasses. Suddenly, the entire digital world looks different. Eventually, every curious learner experiences a moment they'll never forget. You're testing something, reading documentation, trying to understand how a website works, and then something unexpected happens. Maybe a page shows information you weren't expecting. Maybe changing part of a web address changes what appears on your screen. Maybe a feature behaves differently than the documentation suggests. You haven't hacked anything. You haven't broken into anything. You simply noticed something unusual. That single moment changes everything, because for the first time, cybersecurity isn't just something you watched on YouTube. It's real. You realize that software, just like people, can make mistakes. And if software can make mistakes, someone has to find them before criminals do. That's when curiosity transforms into responsibility. But discovering a weakness is only the beginning, because every person who finds one must make a choice. One decision can determine whether they become a criminal or someone who helps protect millions of people. That decision changed the internet forever. And that's where our story continues. Maybe it's a game. Maybe it's just Google. Nothing feels different. Nothing seems unusual. But within the next few hours, you discover something that wasn't meant to be found. Not because you're a genius, not because you're trying to break the law, because you asked one simple question: how does this actually work? That single question has started the journey of thousands of cybersecurity professionals around the world. Long before they became security researchers, before they protected companies, before they discovered critical vulnerabilities, they were simply curious teenagers. This is the story of how curiosity can completely change the way you see the internet. Finding a vulnerability is exciting, but what happens next is what truly defines a hacker. Imagine discovering that a door has been left unlocked. You have two choices. You can walk inside without permission, or you can tell the owner that their door is open. The internet works in much the same way. Every year, thousands of security flaws are discovered by researchers around the world. Some choose to keep them secret. Others sell them. Some use them to steal information. But ethical hackers do something different. They report what they find. Not because they're forced to, because they understand that every vulnerability left unfixed could eventually hurt someone else. The same knowledge can be used to destroy or to protect. The keyboard doesn't decide. The person behind it does. Every second, millions of cyber attacks are attempted across the world. Most people never notice them. Banks are constantly defending their systems. Hospitals protect patient records. Schools secure student information. Airlines safeguard booking systems. Online stores protect payment details. Behind almost every service you use, someone is working to keep it secure. Security analysts monitor suspicious activity. Engineers fix vulnerabilities before they're exploited. Incident response teams investigate attacks when they happen. Threat researchers study new malware before it spreads. It's a job that never truly ends, because attackers don't work 9 to 5. The internet never sleeps, and neither do the people defending it. People often ask, what programming language should I learn first? Or how do I become a hacker? But those aren't the most important questions. The best cybersecurity professionals aren't defined by memorizing commands. They're defined by how they think. When something breaks, they investigate. When something doesn't make sense, they keep asking questions. When everyone else accepts an answer, they look a little deeper. Technology changes constantly. Programming languages evolve. Operating systems receive updates. Artificial intelligence transforms how software is built. Tools come and go. Curiosity remains. It's the one skill that never becomes outdated, because every new invention creates another mystery waiting to be understood. Here's something surprising. The biggest weakness on the internet isn't always technology. It's people. Many of the world's largest cyber attacks didn't begin with sophisticated code. They began with trust. An email that looked legitimate, a fake login page, a convincing phone call, someone clicking a link without realizing it was dangerous. Cybersecurity isn't only about protecting computers, it's about helping people make safer decisions. The strongest firewall in the world can't protect someone who willingly gives away their password. That's why education matters.
The more people understand online risks, the harder it becomes for attackers to succeed. Sometimes, the most powerful security tool isn't technology, it's awareness. The internet you use today won't be the same internet 10 years from now. Artificial intelligence is changing how software is written. Smart devices are appearing in homes, schools, factories, and hospitals. Cars are becoming computers on wheels. Cities are becoming connected. Even household appliances now connect to the internet. Every new innovation creates incredible opportunities, but every connected device also introduces new security challenges. The future won't need fewer cybersecurity professionals. It will need more, much more. The next generation won't simply protect websites, they'll help protect entire digital societies. The work they're doing today will shape the internet